The Red Coat. A story my mom often told me when I was younger. Not because I remember the story, not because I have visual images that connect to that moment and she was helping fill the gaps. It just was a story that made her chuckle and she would want to share it with me. This is my mom. My mom is no longer with us and we miss her and we miss her sense of humor. We miss the novelty of how she joked with us and told us accounts of our childhood. The Red Coat was a story about me when I was very, very young. I don't know the age, but I'm guessing I was probably 3, maybe 4. And as it was in the late 50s, early 60s, when my mom would shop, she would give us specific instructions as kids. I was one of 4. I was the oldest, and I think this story probably happened before there was others to navigate or manage. But she told me, when we're in the grocery store, I want you to hold on to my red coat. At the edge of my red coat, just this little guy holding on to the red coat. It was her way of making sure that I was connected to her as she completed her shopping task. Well, on this particular occasion, my mom looked down and I was not holding on to the edge of the big red overcoat. As she looked, I was nowhere to be seen, and then she gazed down the aisle of the store, and there I was, at the other end of the aisle, holding on to a red coat. Of course, it wasn't the right red coat. She called out to me, and she says, I looked up, and suddenly my eyes were as big as you can imagine because I came to the realization that I was holding on to the wrong red coat. As it was, the surprise was also the fact that it was a woman of color, and so I was looking at her versus looking at my mom. It seemed very extreme to me. My mom says I let go quickly from the coat and I made my way back to her. She told the story and she would always laugh when she would tell me the story. She thought it was cute. She thought it was funny. But as I've reflected on that story over time, I've thought about often, when do I hold on tightly to the wrong thing? I think I'm holding on to the right thing, but then suddenly somebody calls to me. They change my perspective. They make me aware that I've held on to the wrong thing. Maybe you've had that same experience. Maybe you can chuckle at yourself at times where I've held on to the wrong things. My wife often teases me, I've held on to the wrong t-shirt, the wrong sweatshirt. Why do you keep holding on to that? Why don't you let go of it? You know, I think for all of us, there are moments when we stay connected by holding on tightly, but maybe we've held on too tight. Maybe it's time to let go. That's it.